Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode. This is the Zen God. I'm here to share with you some amazing XRP updates. So I have a lot of things to dive in today, but let's start with the mindset of an amazing investor. A lot of you guys are just starting your journey at being an investor, so it's important to have the proper mindset. The mindset is everything. So I'm going to show you guys a quick video. It's about 5 minutes long of one of the best investors in the entire world and how he approaches his investments. So that way you can model what he does and bring it into your life and instantly have the mindset of a advanced investor. So this guy is called Chris Camillo. He was featured on Bloomberg. Let's check out what he has to say.
And I think that story is ever more important as we look forward to 2013, not knowing exactly which way the markets are going to take. Sometimes it's not what you invest in, it's what you don't invest in. And I only make 1 or 2 big trades a year. And I think my story just proves that there's never a bad time to make a great investment. I think that story is ever more important as we look forward to 2013, not knowing exactly which way the markets are going to take us. And I actually turned 20,000 to 2 million from 2007 to 2010 in the middle of the worst financial turmoil we've had in the country in decades. And the way that I did it was just learning how to retrain my mind to identify game-changing things in real life that were having game-changing impacts on publicly traded companies. And the trick here is to understand when you see something in your life that Wall Street hasn't picked up on yet. And that's when you have an opportunity to make an information arbitrage investment. Now, the moment that Wall Street starts talking about that thing that you picked up on days, weeks, or months earlier is when you exit the investment. And that really is what my methodology is all about, just living your life and learning how to see things that could correlate to investment opportunities on Wall Street.
I mean, of course, Chris, the risk is that you're not a very good picker, if you will, when it comes to picking trends. I mean, you might think that your Crocs are awesome, and yes, they ended up doing all right. But what happens if Wall Street never comes around, I guess is what I'm saying. What happens if the thing that you think is going to be the next big thing just isn't?
Okay, so it's not what you think is the next big thing. It's what you notice around you. It's what people are adapting to. So, for example, a coworker of mine last year came to me and she said, "Chris, I know you're an investor. I just read this book called The Hunger Games, and all of my friends have read this book. And I'm telling you, if they ever make it into a movie, it is going to be bigger than Harry Potter." I thought she was nuts. Bigger than Harry Potter? I've never even heard of this book. And I did a little bit of research, and I found out that Lionsgate, a company that had never had a blockbuster film, had actually slated to turn this book into a feature film. Now, Lionsgate, in the next 6 months, doubled as a stock, right? Those sorts of stories happen all the time. And Wall Street took many months to pick up on that story. And it's not because I read Hunger Games. I never even read the book as an investor. I didn't care about Hunger Games. I cared about the fact that millions of kids were so passionate about this book, which ultimately turned into a multi-$100-million film.
So, Chris, you start with 20,000, you get it to 2 million. The question is, how do you size the position? In other words, you have your great idea, let's go buy Lionsgate. Let's say at that point, you had, to make the number easy, $1 million of capital. Do you buy $500,000 to buy 100,000? Do you put all million? I mean, how do you size these trades?
Well, for me, it was very simple. I essentially took roughly 20 to 40% of my portfolio and poured it into the next trade. Now, you can do that when you're only investing once or twice a year, but I invest with conviction. So I'm only making 1 or 2 investments a year. When I find something, it's material. It's not just a trend. It's a big game-changing event that for whatever reason, Wall Street has missed. And over the 8 or 9 investments I made in that 3-year period that were my big investments, I think I maybe missed on 1. The other 7 or 8, all of them were hits that generated for me triple-digit returns, in some case 300%, 400%, 500% returns in a very short period of time.
All right, now the $1 million question. What do you like now?
Well, I don't have anything on the slate at this moment. I will tell you this. For me personally, I think the advent of crowdfund investing in 2013 is bigger than anything I see in the stock market right now. And because of the Jobs Act, the crowdfunding exemption, every single American will have the opportunity in 2013 to invest in startups the same way VCs and angels do today, even if it's a small amount of money. So we can leverage our own local knowledge, the knowledge we have in our profession, the hobbies that we have. We can leverage that to invest in people in our own social networks that are starting the next big thing, the next Facebook or the next store in our neighborhood. That's really big news for us. I think it's the biggest thing to happen in decades to investing in American innovation. So I'm really excited about that. On the stock side, I don't have anything at the moment. I might be waiting 8 or 9 months to catch my next big investment. But it's all about patience. I say it's like the big wave surfer. You know, big wave surfers will wait for months and months and months for that big storm to come. And they're waiting, they're plotting, and they're very patient, and they travel wherever it is around the world to take that next big wave. Well, I invest the same way. It could be September of 2013 before I make my next big investment. You have to be patient. In the interim, I'm just going to continue to live my life, read lots of magazines, go to the movies, go to restaurants, observe the world around me, and continue to hone my sense of critical observation. And that's something that any single individual person can do. You don't have to have a financial background to do that. And when you see something game-changing, if Wall Street hasn't picked up on it, that's an opportunity to make a game-changing big trade.
All right, you keep reading, and I'll tell you what, we'll make you a deal. When you get your next big idea, please come on and tell us. We want to hear about it, Chris Camillo.
I absolutely will.
Boom, that's an amazing video. So many people come to me, Zen, what other things can I invest in? How can I be more diversified? Well, this guy just says he only makes 1 to 2 big investments a year. He hones everything around him. He finds that game, like what we've been talking about, a game-changing investment, and he goes all in. So there's a lot of gems that you can pick up from this video. And this is how the best investors in the world think. They're not constantly in front of their computer screen watching the charts. They're going out, they're living their life, and they're patient. So a lot of people are like, when's it gonna moon? When's XRP gonna moon? You guys gotta learn a little bit more patience. Investing is not a get rich quick scheme. If it was, then yeah, that's not what we're here for. So I wanted to just pat my back on for this one real quick. If you guys remember, 2 nights ago I told you about Hedera, HBAR. The new layer of the internet of the future. They have huge partners with Google, LG, a bunch of other companies. I was showing you guys it's at 6 cents. After I filmed that video, I released it. It jumped all the way up to a high of almost 13 cents, so more than doubled, or like 100% increase. So that's pretty cool. I called this one out. And I think I talked about this on my live stream a few nights back about hesitation. If you hesitate it, you waste it. You miss that 6 cent price entry point. So if you believe in something and you want to go, no hesitation. You gotta just jump on it. Okay, back to the XRP news. So pretty exciting news with HBAR. And now when it jumps up this much, you see this giant green candle and it's 13 cents. That's not the time. We don't chase green candles. This isn't financial advice, but we don't chase green candles. So let's just be patient. Let's see where this moves. And if it goes back down, it might be another time to buy. So here's some really bullish news. All roads lead to Ripple. That's what I've been discovering. So as we know, Brian Brooks has left the US OCC. Positions up. But even better news, former US Treasury official and former Ripple board member Michael S. Barr is a potential candidate to succeed Brian Brooks' position at the US OCC. So we're keeping it moving. XRP is still going to be the forefront. Whether Biden, whether Trump, Donald Duck is president, doesn't matter. Ripple is the future. It's the technology that's going to prevail and continue moving. So I think I have, here's the official article. Former Ripple board members tap to lead Biden's OCC. Wall Street Journal is reporting former Treasury official. Here it is. So that's good news for us. They're still having XRP on the forefront. He's an insider for us. Some more news. BlackRock takes first step into crypto exposure in 2 funds. So they're saying they're going all in on cryptocurrencies. But let me show you someone that they hired. The BlackRock to focus on alternative investments. BlackRock, which is the largest asset manager firm in the world with roughly $7 trillion in assets under management, has long declared an interest in cryptocurrency. In other alternative investments, the company has now made bold move by hiring a former executive Ripple employee, Robbie Mitchnick, who is now set to lead the digital asset team at the company. Mitchnick has been involved in crypto sector for a few years now and is regarded as one of the best minds behind Ripple. The former Ripple exec has deep understanding of cryptocurrencies and their underlying technology, and is said to be interested in solving some of the murkiness around how new investors view digital currencies. So that's very big news. All roads lead to Ripple. Ripple under every rock. Never forget, this is chess. BlackRock is buying into Bitcoin futures isn't necessarily good. Very well mean a massive short is coming. Lagarde, blah, 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 Tether, she's explaining all the negative news for Bitcoin, but all roads seem to, or what she said, Ripple under every single rock. I see all roads lead to Ripple. They're everywhere. So very exciting news. So I wanted to show you this. HSBC to close 82 branches claiming customers are turning to digital banking. So what does that remind you guys of? HSBC, I told you guys that once we start using XRP, it's going to cut off tons and tons and tons of bankers. They'll no longer be needed. All these correspondent banks, we won't need it anymore. So the banks will be able to shrink in size, and we're going to cut off a lot of the extra fat. But what does this remind you guys of? Just a few days ago, I posted about HSBC and digital ledger technology. So it's an official PDF. Distributed ledger technology in the capital markets. Remember we were looking at this a few nights ago? Game changers, future trends. So this is what you do with these articles. You click search, XRP, boom. It pops right up. We already read this. Ripple XRP Ledger provides real-time cross-border settlements. So there you go. Under every single rock, all roads lead to Ripple. That's really exciting for us. Here's some more news. Bank of France has finished CBD's trial. So the central bank digital currencies are saying that they're like years away. It's going to be a long time before they begin getting published. And look, they're trialing it. It's all done. And it's happening a lot sooner than people think. So I believe this is most of my current tags. This is my favorite one of today. It's more and more bullish. Never let your emotions overpower your intelligence. So we're doing all this research. We're finding all these clues. We're getting all this information. Let me move myself back up. We're getting all this information, but then people get emotional and they do dumb things out of their emotions. So you got to keep an intelligent mind, not an emotional mind. That's a key. That's a good quote that I found as far as investing, but also in life. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool quote. So let's talk about this Mr. Pool post. Mr. Pool the other night on the 16th posted the Phoenix. Out of the old system, the Phoenix will rise. Right? So a lot of people believe XRP, when everything else crashes, the stock market crashes, economy crashes, cryptocurrencies crash, that's when XRP is going to rise like a phoenix. And that's what it's designed to do, on-demand liquidity for systemic problems. But then it reminds me, if you guys look at this, this is from back in the day. This is from 1988. And David Schwartz wrote a patent for the blockchain, like a distributed ledger technology, just a few months after this was released. David Schwartz, I believe, could possibly be actually Satoshi Nakamoto. He could be the creator of Bitcoin. He worked on it at the early days. He's a jokester who likes riddles. And this came out shortly after. It's a phoenix. And then we see cash burning, cash going away. Get ready for a world currency. What have we been speculating? That XRP could be the new world trade currency. the global trade currency. And you look at this coin, this kind of looks like the Stellar coin. So 10, Phoenix, and then so here it says 2018, 2 years later, 3 years later. So this is pretty spooky. Mr. Poole reminded us about the thing. Don't panic, stay calm. Everything's still moving as planned. That's what Mr. Poole posted last night. 8 plus 3 equals 11. Plus 9, 19, 119. So don't panic. Everything's still moving along. Don't panic. But yeah, guys, so this is more of a short video today, but I think the mindset is really the key thing for today. All the research in the world, all this stuff, wouldn't matter if we don't have the right mindset. So a lot of times, sometimes like when we're super confident on XRP, we're all in, but then we want to go look into other currencies. I guarantee you that when XRP finally does moon, the first thing you're going to say is, man, I should have put more in there. That's what happens to me every time. I should have went more all in when it actually starts going up. And you're going to regret like having this really large diversified portfolio. In my opinion, that's what happens to me when it moons. So just like he said, imagine you're a big wave surfer. You're just sitting there, you're waiting for that big wave to come, and you don't know when it's going to come, but you're patient. It's going to come eventually. And once it comes, you run out there, you grab your board, and you surf it home. But this is about it for today. This was a quick, fun one. We'll be back tomorrow night with a more in-depth video. But I think this was sufficient. I think this is amazing news that everything's still moving forward. We got the former Treasury that's affiliated with Ripple that's gonna be taking the OCC. So everything's still moving. I'm excited. And please, 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 if there's anything specific you want in one of these videos, leave it in the comment section. Like this page, subscribe, share it with your friends. The more activity on this page, the more effort I'm going to put into it. I'll put special. I'll do more and more. The more engagement I'm seeing from you guys. So thank you guys. This was a fun one. Have a good night.